In this problem, we are trying to tell when fractions with negative signs are the same as each other and when they're different. And this can be a little confusing because there's several different ways to write a negative fraction. So if you have, let's say, 1/2, and you wanted to write a negative 1/2, you could just put the negative sign right out front, sort of exactly where the line is, so right in the middle. That means the value is 1/2, but it's a negative 1/2. That is exactly the same if you had a negative 1 over 2. And it's exactly the same as if you had a positive 1 over a negative 2. All of those are the same. Because really, this is just a division problem. 1 divided by 2 is 0.5. And a negative divided by a positive is the same as a positive divided by a negative. As long as there's only one negative sign, the answer is going to be negative. However, if you put a negative 1/2 over a negative 2, in this division problem, you're dividing a negative by a negative. That is a positive. So a negative over a negative is the same as a positive. So really what we want to do to solve these problems is look at the number of negative signs. Let's look at this first one. It says, given this fraction, negative 3 over 7, check all the fractions that are equivalent. Well, this has one negative sign. So I'm going to find all the others with one negative sign. So there's one, there's one. So these two are equivalent. Here we have negative 4/9. Again, that's just one negative sign. So here's one negative sign. Here's one negative sign. So I'd check these two. If they gave you a fraction that had two negative signs, it would be equivalent to the positive version of the fraction. So those would be the two that are equal to each other there, here. These two are equal to each other here. So that's a little bit of work with identifying signed fractions.